Hello and welcome. My name is Meepleless, she, they, and this is Literally Graphic. And today we are looking at all the stuff I've purchased so far this year. I probably should have done this in June, more like halfway through the year, but time has just flown by. Still not sure how I feel about owning things. I really want to have a library philosophy, but I feel like I'm setting myself up to fail on that one. Well, I do have one thing, which is I want some key nonfiction information offline. So this year, for my birthday, my mother got me Putting Food by Janet Green, Ruth Hertzberg, and Beatrice Vaughn. Year-round indoor salad gardening, How to Grow Nutrient-Dense Soil Sprouting Greens in Less Than 100 Days by Peter Burke. And finally, 12 Months of Monastery Soups by Brother Victor Antoine Deville Loutra, which already has some food stains on it. And looking through some of the other things I picked up, I guess I did have at least one other thought. Namely, that I probably wasn't going to be able to diversify my library all that quickly if I mostly bought books from IRL used book sales, which are overflowing with stuff like Orson Scott Card. So after considering my choices for a couple of months, I did end up spending most of my Christmas money on new books. First up, we have the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin, winner of 3 Hugo Best Novel of the Year awards 3 years in a row. Next up, we have Octavia Butler's Patternist series. Besides the last book in her Xeogenesis series, which my mother is currently borrowing, I've read all of Butler's books except for Mind of My Mind, Pattern Master, and the out-of-print one that I did end up picking up as an ebook via Sista Sci-Fi. Survivor? But yes, that means I read Wild Seed and Clay's Ark completely out of order. Such is life. I am a bit sad that I'll be finishing Butler's entire bibliography sometime in the near future, although the fact that I am incapable of reading printed books right now is bringing me some small comfort. To conclude my Christmas haul, we have The Deep by River Solomon, with David Diggs, William Hudson, and Jonathan Snipes, which is A+. And The Devil Finds Work, a collection of essays by James Baldwin. After a few years of dedicated effort, I've managed to listen through most of his bibliography. This book struck my interest in particular because it's media criticism, which obviously I spent some time thinking about as well. Not that we are at the same level, but it seemed like something I would want to return to in the future. I also picked up the first volume of Sunstone this year. I have plans on buying the rest of the series. I just keep putting it off and forgetting because I have ADHD. Once I can fit it into my review schedule, I think things will fall into place. And to conclude, this last time we came out of lockdown, I did go to my local thrift shop to buy pants and ended up with a lot of books instead. Because once you start, you might as well just keep going until you get the free 5th book. The volume that got this whole shopping spree started was Bending the Landscape, original gay and lesbian writing science fiction. It's from the late 90s, and I couldn't resist. Next up, we have 2 Lord of the Rings themed game books, Mines of Moria and Treason at Helm's Deep. I have a couple of similar Dungeons & Dragons books. What can I say? I just can't resist these things! Moving along, I did end up picking up a copy of Watchmen because it seemed like I would never find it any cheaper, and if I ever want to reread it, I would have to own it because it would take several library holds to do it justice. And to conclude, I definitely have mixed feelings about this book, but it's the kind of thing you never see at the thrift store. So I did end up buying a copy of Louis Riel by local talent Chester Brown. And that's all I wrote. What do you think? Do you have a coherent library philosophy? Leave your thoughts in the comments section. Bye all, keep reading, and resist white supremacy. And as always, Literally Graphic is created on land that should be given back to the traditional landholders, which in this case is, to my knowledge, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, non-Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation.